I have no fear whatsoever of anybody or anything.
Serious? That email coming up.
Somebody's coming up. Somebody's serious. Somebody's coming up. Somebody's serious. Somebody's coming up.
Hey everybody, Jerry Williams, aka Greater Sapien here. Thanks for stopping by. Today we have another installment explaining why I chose to vote for Kamala Harris over Donald Trump. This is likely the last one I will do of these. I'm assuming this is going online on the Friday before the election. I've been in New York the last 4 days, and while I may have time for a short or two over the coming days, I won't have time for any long-form content. So, what is today's topic? Donald Trump's cognitive fitness and why this is such a serious concern when deciding who to vote for in the upcoming election. Now, I know some people might be undecided. You might be weighing the options between Trump and Kamala Harris, or maybe you're unsure about the importance of Trump's mental fitness. So, in this video, I will break it all down and explain why Trump's behavior and cognitive state, along with many other issues, made me choose Harris over him. Once again, I will break this into 4 key areas: Trump's disinhibition, cognitive decline and dangerous behavior, mental fitness for leadership, and the people enabling Trump's dangerous impulses. Let's do this. Let's start with one of the core issues, Trump's disinhibition. Ezra Klein puts it simply in a recent New York Times piece. Trump moves through the world without the behavioral inhibition most of us labor under. This isn't just a quirky personality trait. This is a fundamental problem when it comes to running the country. Trump has no filter, no self-control. That lack of restraint is what makes him dangerous. Trump's disinhibition can be considered both his strength and his flaw. It's what allows him to dominate a crowd and say things that other politicians wouldn't dare say. But here's the thing. When it comes to the presidency, having no filter isn't a strength. It's a liability. It's one thing for a reality TV star or a businessman to act without inhibition, but when you're the president, you have to know when to stop. Trump doesn't know when to stop. He doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. He doesn't calculate the consequences of his words or actions, and that's dangerous. Compare that to Harris. She's someone who carefully considers her words, someone who understands the weight they carry. Harris is the type of leader who recognizes that her decisions affect not just the U.S., but the entire world. That's the kind of restraint we need in the White House. Next, we need to talk about cognitive decline. It's no secret that Trump at 78 is nearly as old as Joe Biden, and yet we never hear the same level of concern about his age. But the fact is, Trump exhibits clear signs of cognitive decline. His rambling, nonsensical speeches, bizarre riffs about things like electric boats and sharks and Hannibal Lecter, and his inability to stay on topic. These aren't just random quirks. They are signs that something is not right. Ezra Klein highlights how Trump's speeches have become more erratic. His rallies, which once lasted 45 minutes, now stretch on for over 80 minutes, with no real structure or coherence. This isn't evidence of vigor, it's evidence of a mind that's struggling to focus. His inability to stop rambling on stage is evidence that what little capacity he once had control himself has weakened. And let's not forget that Trump's erratic behavior has real-world consequences. He mused about firing missiles at hurricanes and suggested shooting protesters in the legs during the George Floyd protests. These are not the thoughts of a stable leader. Harris, on the other hand, is someone who approaches decisions with careful deliberation, weighing the consequences of each action. This brings us to the next key point: mental fitness for leadership. Being the President of the United States requires more than just charisma and the ability to command a crowd. It requires strategic thinking, discipline, and an understanding of the weight of your decisions in the world. Trump's own people, his closest staff members, have raised alarms about his mental fitness. General John Kelly and Secretary James Mattis described their roles as babysitting the president. Think about that. These were the people tasked with managing Trump and his impulses. They weren't guiding a commander-in-chief. They were trying to constrain an unpredictable yet powerful child. Harris, on the other hand, has never had her mental fitness questioned by those closest to her. She's a thoughtful, measured leader who understands the gravity of her role. This is the kind of leadership we need, not someone whose staff has to constantly prevent them from making dangerous decisions. Finally, let's talk about the people enabling Trump's dangerous impulses. One of the most concerning revelations this election season is how Trump's enablers are preparing for a second term where they intend to remove the barriers that restrained him the first time around. Trump's inner circle has been working on a plan, Project 2025, to fill government positions with loyalists who will follow Trump's orders without question. This means no more stopping Trump from making reckless decisions, no more generals refusing to fire missiles at hurricanes, no more aides preventing catastrophic actions. Trump supporters want to remove everything that stopped Trump's worst impulses in the past, and these could lead to geopolitical or constitutional crises. So ask yourself, do you want someone in office whose own team had to protect the country from his reckless decisions? Harris isn't surrounded by people trying to stop her from endangering the country because she doesn't put the country in danger. She is a competent, stable leader who works with experts to make informed, thoughtful decisions. So where does this put us? Let me be direct if I was not clear to this point. Trump is not cognitively fit to be president. His disinhibition, his cognitive decline, and the dangerous behavior he has exhibited, these are not the qualities we need in a leader. And now the people around him are preparing to remove the last safeguards that kept his worst impulses in check. I see Kamala Harris offering something very different. She's a thoughtful, deliberate leader who respects the office of the presidency and understands the weight of her decisions. Harris brings mental fitness, restraint, and competence, qualities that are crucial for someone leading the most powerful country in the world. This is why I voted for Harris, and why I hope you'll consider doing the same. Take care, everybody. Peace.
That's my job! That's what I do! I don't lose! I win! Is there no one on this planet to even challenge me?
Maybe you came by to congratulate me on last night's victory.